take a look at the pound dollar for the upcoming October the 30th session. And then, here it was yesterday. We were looking. Remember, we've talked about closes below this level. We were not comfortable with a sell because of what was going on right there. Remember, we've talked about this getting sucked into a vortex move where price starts to, this was a very bearish candle at one point. Look how it closed up. Again, we cannot re-emphasize to you folks, wait for candles to close. You should only be taking action on the half hour or at the top of the hours based on what we're trying to help you to appreciate. And then we got the close over the trend line. That was good. We took some profit off, got another close. You could have added to your position or, again, kept it on, but you would not have totally taken your trade off if you got in at this level. Also, if you were not able to get on that trend line break, if you got in on this close of this candle here, still nice runs. It was nice moves. Again, please remember these levels we're talking to are key important levels. And you should be getting a lot of your life back, right? You should really be getting a lot of your life back because you're only looking at the charts every 30 or 60 minutes, right? And especially that's important for you folks that have jobs and heavy family responsibilities. We understand, we've been in that situation too. We still have families. I have 3 little kids, all 6 years old and under. I know what it's like to have these obligations, and it's important to know that every 30 minutes, right, or 60 minutes, you can check. You can even with MetaTrader or your charting package set a price alarm to say if price hits this level up here, right? If price is above this level, you can find out what the price level is that we give you. You can draw your lines on there and say, hey, okay, let's look over here at the right-hand side all the way over. It says it's 64.37. You set a price alarm on your charting package, MetaTrader, whatever, and say, hey, if it hits 64.44, I want to know. So at least you'll know when it hits that, you can come up here and look, does the candle going to close? You don't even have to be around on these other hours. So there's a lot of things you can do. So hopefully that's beginning to sink into everyone, and individuals are beginning to feel quite a bit of freedom. Once again, we want to take a look at this daily chart on the pound dollar, right? We're back above this trend line, been down, up. That's going to be some chop here. On the 4-hour chart right now, you take a look at it, there's still no real trend here on the MACD. Starting to come up a little bit, but still hesitating right there on the waterline. Now, if we take a look at the 1-hour chart, still just a little bit of fluctuation up and down. What I really like about the pound dollar for the upcoming session is we have a very sweet trend line coming up through this level. Extremely sweet. That's great for 2 reasons. We also have a high, and we've had a pullback. Look at that. We have a nice sweet high. We also have a nice sweet low right in here. So man, it's a lot easier to look at trading this over than what we're looking at trading the euro, right? Even though the euro was there, this is a lot more clear and distinct for us. So any kind of close below this low right here, 60-minute chart, bang, we're looking to sell. Any kind of close above this high right here on a 60-minute chart, bang, we're looking to buy. And if price comes up here and holds, right, and this trend line hangs in, remember that it's a trend that's been in all day. Any kind of close below this trend line on a 60-minute, we would also be looking for a sell. So all the trades on the pound dollar for the upcoming October the 30th session are based on the hour. You can set some price alarms. If you want to know how to do that, we'll create a video. Again, email us at sgregory@forexactivetrader.com. You can contact me, Seth, at sgregory@forexactivetrader.com, and we will go ahead and put together some videos that you request. So you're welcome to email us, and we will respond to you. If you do not get a respond to that email that said, hey, we got your suggestion, thanks a lot. If you do not at least get that from us, somehow it might be in our spam or didn't make it to us, send us another email. And in the videos next week, we'll include an email address at the end. So that's going to be it for the October 30th session, what we're looking for on the pound dollar. Let's take a look at the dollar yen for the upcoming October the 30th sessions. We had a pretty good rally back yesterday, and there looks like there's a lot of lines on this chart, but if you'll appreciate that they're significant, we have a longer term trend line here. As you can see, it came down and actually broke through that. We've pulled back up to the resistance or support level we broke earlier in the week that we talked about. And again, there's that major trend line, this 4-hour one back here, and you can see that it fell down. This is a major support level. Surprisingly, it didn't come all the way down to there. Shocking, but it didn't. And then this was the next one we highlighted yesterday. So when we're trying to negotiate a trade for this October the 30th session, what we want to realize is we've really come back up and retested this previous support as resistance. It's that clean and simple right there. And you can see that we've lost a lot of momentum here on the MACD. And this is on the 1 hour chart. You can see that it's waning. Even though we've become slightly bullish now, it's going to give us a very good range and method to set up for the upcoming session to trade. And right now, as we're taking a look at it, it does look like we have the ability to pull back a little bit. And again, this is kind of an up and down session right now, so it looks like through the Asian session we might pull back, maybe even into these moving averages, so we want to keep that in mind. Now, for the sessions, the upcoming sessions, what we're going to basically watch for, because this is such a strong trend line in this level right here, is we're going to watch for sure this resistance level. And if we happen to get a close above this on the hourly chart, we're going to go long, right? We're going to go long, and we're going to look to, fund our trade, pay ourselves as we go, take some money off the table as we come back up here, and then leave some on to run, right? So that's what we're going to be looking for in the upcoming session. Close above this level here on the 60-minute chart. Now, a sell is a little bit interesting to me because we're at 91.44, and at 91.15 we have this really strong trend line. And there's no real good trend lines in here, no real good points of support and resistance that are not really right on this trend line. So for a sell, I'm actually going to wait until price comes all the way down here, and if price then closes below this major trend line here on a 60-minute chart, then we're going to look for a sell. So really just one buy and one sell for the upcoming session on the dollar yen. Now, what I also want to point out to you is the importance of what we were talking about yesterday. You remember, here's this trend line, right? We talked about if price closed below this level here on a 60-minute chart, you fund your trade, and it did. There were two trade setups. We talked about how we didn't even want to take a sell because when we were doing the video, it was already breaking down, right? So we had just drawn that trend line. We said the only thing we'd be looking at on dollar yen was a buy if it breaks that trend line. Well, again, of course it's important. Somebody said, well, it never broke your trend line. Folks, extend the trend line out as the market progresses, right? Extend that trend line out like I just did a second ago. And so the trend line break would be right in here, right? And there's the close above it on the, well, let's take it back to a 60-minute chart. There is the close above it. If you're not comfortable, here was definitely a close above it. And when you take a look at that, right, then that was where the rally came through. So even though when we're doing the videos for you, and you say our trend line might end right here because that's where the market basically is at this point, is the market continues down, extend that trend line. So that did happen. There was the break. It was a good trade setup. The close above the hour. At this one, depending on your broker and how you drew it, or this one, it was a good, nice rally. So again, two trades we're looking for in the upcoming session: a close above this level on a 60-minute chart, close below this trend line here on a 60-minute chart for a sell. So that's what we're going to be looking for the October 30th session on the dollar yen.